Okay, so it's Friday morning. I feel much better. I promised some folks I'd try and do a video today if I was feeling well enough. Um, well, what happened was, as we know, I've been going through probably a surgery every couple of weeks now for various things to get ready for my chemotherapy. We don't know yet if the bladder surgery worked out or not. We're kind of assuming not since we haven't heard from the doctors, so we're back to planning chemotherapy for Monday morning. Well, a little about what's been going on. Um, I had told you before a couple weeks ago I had the nephrostomy tube put in. What that does is it helps drain my kidney, my left kidney that wasn't functioning. Um, that was painful, but it's now it's just discomfort in my back. Um, it's but the pain itself is not really as bad as it was. Of course, if I stopped taking my Loratab, probably I'd feel a lot more. But I'm sitting here shirtless, so I can kind of show y'all what what give you an idea of what actually is going on. So I'm going to stand up, but what I'm going to show you is the nephrostomy tube that's in my back. I don't know if you can see that real well, but what it is it goes in my back and down into my kidney, and it drains urine into a handy little pouch I have strapped to my leg. I'll show you that. Uh, Sorry. All right. Now, that's just to keep my kidney functioning. Um, because without that kidney functioning, the chemotherapy, well, there's many problems with your kidney not functioning, but for my purposes, the the chemotherapy is a liquid form, so it would essentially, if your kidney isn't working, it would sit in there and destroy your kidney because there's no way for it to get back out. So that that is the nephrostomy tube. Now, what I went in for yesterday is this handy little thing right here is IV port. What it is, I can't take the bandage off. I have to keep it on for a couple of days till it heals. But essentially, what it is you have the port itself is about the size of a quarter. The surgeon implants it under the skin. It's totally under the skin, except for where they will hook to when they need it. It's completely under the skin except for a tiny little hole. And up here, I don't know if you can see it real well. This camera kind of sucks. But this is a small incision that they make. And what it is from this port is a catheter that feeds from the incision from the port all the way across my chest, and it's actually hooked to a main blood vessel uh, coming from the heart, so that it has a better support system for the drugs. When you use the IVs through your arms and whatever, you the chemotherapy will destroy those veins and creates a lot more problems. So they do it this way, but there's a lot of other functions for it. I mean, essentially from now on, if someone wants to draw blood or if someone has to give me an IV or anything like that, anything can be done through this port that they would normally do through your arms as far as taking blood or like I said, IVs or anything like that. So um, this one hurts like a mother. Don't get me wrong. Um, I'm willing to do everything it's going to take to fight this stuff, but every time I go in the hospital, they hurt me a little more, and it's getting a little rough on me. And it's not just me. I mean, my girls they're getting real scared every time they see me. I have a new hole in me, or I have a new tube hanging from me, or it's becoming more and more real as we go to them. Before, it's one thing to be able to say, well, Dad has cancer, and it's going to be a long fight, but I all I can say is to a kid that saying it isn't the same as seeing it occur. You know, we're having a few problems this week because we had our little adopted granddaughter Caden over. Apparently, she brought a little friend by way of a infection in the house. So everybody's all of my kids have come down with either colds or sinus infections. So I'm not allowed to see anybody anymore. With chemo starting Monday morning, I've been advised by my doctor just to take a vacation here in my room, my bubble. That's what we've dubbed it. This is my special place. We've kind of made it all the comforts of home. I'll show you. We've got my bed. We've got my big screen. I've got a small refrigerator and a place to keep some of my snacks. My air conditioner is separate from everybody. Well, I mean, the dogs aren't allowed in here. We've cleaned the carpet and sanitized as much as we can to start out. But this is my bubble. This is where I guess I'll be spending most of my time for the next year through chemotherapy and whatever. Um, we haven't gotten anything accomplished financially. We're still trying. Although I will say this, the doctor, I don't even know his name. I have to look on his paperwork because we need to send him a card. But the cardiac surgeon that put this port in for me yesterday was speaking to Stephanie after the surgery. I mean, I was still asleep, so I wasn't there. But he is the first doctor probably in my life, but certainly since this started, that seems to care. He's in this for the right reasons. He was talking to Stephanie, and he found out from her, kind of the troubles we've been having financially with all of this, all the surgeries and everything that's been done and coming up. And well, he simply told her his services are donated to her. So of course that doesn't help with the hospital fees and the operating room and all their junk that they're going to charge me for. But it certainly helps that his part of it would have been a few $1,000s, and he was willing to write that off. And we're so happy for it. I mean, you know, another couple $1,000s on top of what we have currently is would be staggering. I mean, it's a number that I just never thought I'd see as a bill. But anyway, he was he is certainly in this for the right reason. He wants to help people and wasn't concerned about him being paid for his time, and that was a blessing to all of us. Um, it's nice to have somebody in your corner that realizes that this only took him an hour out of his life, you know, and he was willing to give that hour instead of being greedy. I mean, I realize doctors do it to make a living, but there's just certain things that stand out to you. I mean, the fact that they can help and some of them just won't is staggering to me. I mean, I know it happens every day, but this is the first time it's happened to me. Um, people, some people are pretty nasty about it. They look at whether you have health insurance or not as a choice, and the fact is when you have a family, you have to make sure they're taken care of first, and that's what I've done. My kids have insurance, Stephanie has insurance, but me being out of, well, working for myself, insurance was through the roof, so I just couldn't do it. Um, and then when it was time that I thought I needed to, well, I couldn't get nobody to cover me that quickly, and I just ran out of time. I ran out of time to get it. So I am where I am. But more importantly, like I said, I'm on here just to kind of show y'all what's been going on, and um, we're back to the position of starting chemo, I guess. We were hoping for the surgery, and we still are. It still could happen, I guess. It could be last minute, but I would think he would have called us by now had the doctor been able to make arrangements for it. um, but we're scheduled for chemotherapy, I think 9:45 Monday morning, and then once I start it, there's no surgery. There's there's no hope of surgery. Once they start chemotherapy, I have to go through the process of chemo, and I will do. I think they had planned on 3 rounds, which is um, I think 9 weeks total. I'm not sure, but anyway, it'll be a long haul, and the doctors are more worried that the chemo has to be so aggressive that it may cause some real problems for me. But the fact that I'm a big guy is playing in my favor, and I hope it keeps doing that. I'm eating everything in sight that I can get my hands on, so you know, trying to get a couple extra pounds that I can fight with. But anyway, I'm not going to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to show you what was going on, give you an idea of what's happening. Um, Still, you know, pass my videos on if you can, and get some folks to subscribe, and I'm sure. Oh, that's one thing. When I do start chemo, they did let me know that I can bring my laptop in, and I can kind of show everybody what's actually going on in the chemo room. um, They'll be very short videos, very quiet videos, because they said I can show you what's going on, but I can't really talk a whole lot, and I can't show anybody else because it's one large room with several people getting chemotherapy at the same time. So I have to be respectful of everybody else's privacy. Um, but they are going to let me do it. So you'll kind of get to see firsthand what you go through sitting in the chair. We went to an education class for chemo, and they told us that nowadays, with all of the anti-nausea drugs and everything else that they give you with your chemotherapy, that it's not as bad as it used to be. But I don't know that. I have nothing to compare it to, but we'll find out. We'll find out together, I guess. Um, but I'll see you when I start that Monday, if I don't see you before. Um, but uh, I can still use your prayers and your wishes, and